I'm in Santa Ana. This guy's still in Merced, and
You
we're
know,
talking about taking care of yourself today. As an affiliate owner, especially as a husband, as a father or a mother, or whatever you may be, if you own a CrossFit gym and you probably work another job, you probably aren't doing many things for yourself. And today we're going to talk about why that's super important.
that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Taking care of yourself. I'm just going to take a whack at it and go first and just talk about like how obviously nutrition is the base of the pyramid. So over about 2023, 2024, I was having this sensation, this sentiment, underlying feeling that alcohol wasn't serving me anymore.
Mm.
That being said, I'd go to this was my people would be like, oh Brian, you don't drink. You're such a fit guy. You're such a healthy guy. My move was go to the local, back home we call it the Packy. Here it's like the gas station, and you get yourself a couple of Voodoo Ranger IPA tall boys. Pick your flavor. Pick your Voodoo Ranger of choice. All of them are delicious in my opinion. They all have really high alcohol percentages
Yeah,
by
8 point
volume.
something for
Yeah,
sure.
nines, yeah, at 0.5s. And I would have one or two of those while barbecuing, which is wonderful. Or maybe I'd have like drink at dinner, or I'd just be doing the thing. But I could do that. I could do a couple of tall cans of Voodoo Rangers, and depending on how much food was in my stomach, I could get a little buzz there too. I go out to, you know, summer this, and this is very easy as an affiliate owner. You got three friend groups all within the affiliate. They all think you're a rad guy. It's Thursday. We're gonna go to the local watering hole. On Friday, oh, we're gonna go catch a let's go bowling. And then on Saturday, you're gonna go, hang out with your family. All of those have this underlying tone of alcohol will be present. Well, I was definitely gonna indulge in every one of those.
Mm.
And then I'm like on the internet, and it's like I'm going to expound health and wellness. I'm talking about like self responsibility, advocacy, mentorship. We're going to run a raise in health fitness. That's what we're going to call bullshit on
You're turning
on
literally your identity into health and fitness.
yeah. And
And
then
you're over
and
here
then
with a couple tall cans every day, just like, what's up?
right. Nothing abnormal across the American lifestyle. But for me, for what I am trying to teach my children, what I'm trying to expound to my athletes, what I'm trying to put out into the universe, if I'm a drunkard, then my voice of authority on the thing, I think, is muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't like that even if it was a me thing, I don't like that integrity issue. So on December 31st, I knew it was like my last day drinking. We do this every year up to the cabin. Let's have a good time. And even as the evening progressed, I was like, I don't have to fucking drink right now. Like this is an unnecessary step, but it was a bit ceremonial. And I don't know how many days has it been since January 1st? 15, 116, something like that. I have had sobriety. A couple of people have gone along the journey with me. Now I've had a couple of California sober moments, but nothing crazy. 10 milligram edibles once,
Are you drinking coffee too? And why didn't you mention coffee as well? Because that's a drug.
but it
But
doesn't.
you know what I'm saying? It's just funny. Like we adapt ourselves to these things that we go like, hey, this is bad, this is good, this is okay, this is kind of okay, this is kind of not okay. But there are certain things like alcohol that we know are not okay for us. Like if we drink even not even too much of it, but just a little too much of it, it kills us, you know?
At the molecular level does not have a receptor site in our body. So
Not a
humans,
single one.
there's not a single. And I know we've talked about this a little bit in the past, but if this is going to be a standalone, uh,
As I fill up my giant coffee cup right now.
but we do have the caffeine molecule. It does have receptor sites, meaning that we are at least somewhat to use things like caffeine. Now that's a bad that could be there's some badness to that, right? Like if I wanted to take a benzo right now, I have benzo receptor sites. If I wanted to take an opioid, I have opioid receptor sites. So just because you have receptor sites on your cells does not mean that it's appropriate or inappropriate. But it does speak volumes to me that alcohol is defined as a poison, meaning that there is no receptor site in which alcohol is being used for some sort of thing, right?
So how is it legal in the first place? Is what I mean. I'm not going to get off
I
track here,
just
you know what I
I
mean?
think
But
it's
it's just
ancient.
like
I think if we're gonna, it's
it's just
like,
such a funny thing to look at. Like we have cannabinoid receptors inside of our body, millions of them, you know, and our bodies secrete these cannabinoids as well. Yet we villainize and, you know, put this thing as a class one drug. But you're walking around sipping on this thing all day long, and it has the exact same effects, you know, in an opposite way or even sometimes in a similar way as caffeine does. So, anyways, I digress. But and all
my
because you
caffeine.
said the word California sober, and I was like, I'm just gonna step in here for a second to defend my
Yeah,
little cannabis plant.
no, yeah, no. It's just I probably had three different. I was down in Orlando with my children, and I had edible because that is a performance enhancing drug for parenthood. Um, if you want to color, I want to color. If
If
you
you
want to,
know how to use it, it definitely
yeah,
is. You understand the strains and the cannabinoids and the
yeah,
terpenes and all that stuff.
yeah,
Then don't just dive into your buddy's, you know,
stash.
stash that he's got going
Yeah.
on there. But yeah, definitely it could be an answer for sure.
I was definitely using the right one. It was awesome. Highly recommend. 10 milligram edible, super low key, a cup of coffee, and go do Disney with your children. You will have just a excellent good time. And benign. We're talking about a little bit more willing to just be childish. That's
Like
that's
ask your kids to rate how dad and mom is in this moment. Then have them go to Disneyland and drink the whole time, and have them rate how their mom and dad is at the end. Then do the exact same thing with the stack you just took of caffeine and a little bit of cannabis, and see what they would rank you at the end of that. They'd probably be like, "Dad was so fun. Oh my god,
yeah,
they were
yeah.
getting along great." You know, it's like it's a completely different experience. But what I hear you saying is that you're getting rid of one thing, but you also have like option B there if needed that isn't that thing you're trying to get rid of. It's another thing.
Yeah, I'm not, and this is just my experience. I don't want to villainize alcohol for all of its ness. It's just
Why not though?
serve.
Why not? That's
It
my
wasn't
question.
serving me. It wasn't
Yeah, like
serving
why
me.
not villainize alcohol? And why not villainize sugar? Like why not villainize like these things that like I was just having this conversation with a friend the other day about sugar specifically and how I've always said, look, I don't want to villainize sugar, and I just say that. I don't think about it when I'm saying it, and then when I start to actually research sugar again. And I go, oh yeah, it's an immune suppressant. Oh yeah, it actually, it makes sense to villainize it. And then you look at alcohol and you go, okay, it doesn't have any receptors. It's categorized as a poison 100%. We all know that it's bad for us. Why are we not villainizing?
Right. And it's so insidious into this population. There's just things that you go to on a regular basis where actually the thing you're doing is alcohol. You're like, hey, do you want to go to the ghost
A
picker thing?
bar
Yeah, yeah. If you, which it means that at the center of the like social construct
is
is
drinking this
alcohol. Is yeah,
poison. Let's
yeah.
poison ourselves so that we can be more normal.
And and Gabby's been sober through all of this as well. I've lost 10 pounds. I've lost
Yeah,
10 pounds. I was running in
that's
Nashville,
excellent.
Tennessee. Yeah, I was running with Nashville with Randy Lauer out of 346 CrossFit, just outside of Portland. And really, really great guy, a great friend of mine. And he's been sober for like 20 something years. And he has this really incredible story about like bottom, found it, the barrel, the bottom of the bottle. Like, I have to not do this. I'm going to kill myself if I keep down this pathway. Finding his wife, finding sobriety, finding CrossFit, opening an affiliate. Like, he has this whole amazing story. And I was listening to him tell it at this rooftop bar while both of us are drinking soda water and limes, which is fucking delicious.
Oh, it's the best, especially from the fountain.
Yes. so good. It's so. I don't know if you've tried soda water with lime without alcohol, but it is refreshing. It has you get to hold your little thing in this weird constructed society that we have.
Dude, that
It's
was always my problem. It's like I just wanted to drink like everybody else was. It wasn't that I necessarily wanted to get drunk. I just wanted to do the thing.
the thing.
Yeah.
It's monkeys are weird. Human beings are so strange, and we're running all around Nashville, and we're like it's 5:30 in the morning. The birds are chirping. The Cumberland River's right there. It's so pleasant. There's just this pleasantness to it. You think a couple of drunks are doing that, seeing Nashville in that light as the dawn sun is rising. And you see the Capitol building and the Cumberland. You see this. We ran through like Davy Crockett's fucking log cabin or some shit. It was a log cabin. I'm assuming it was
I
Davy
had a
Crockett, but
Davy Crockett hat and a Davy Crockett
yeah,
BB gun
it
growing up, of
yeah.
course.
We're like running all across this lawn that's really well
Oh,
manicured and all these beautiful murals and like the
and
business
you're able to
people are
actually
out.
recognize that stuff as beautiful too. I feel like when you're in this alcoholic fog all the time, you don't see those things, and you could be walking right through Davy Crockett's, farm, and you wouldn't even know it's there.
Yeah, it was like all these sky rises, all these like this big river and like this Tennessee Titans stadium, and all of a sudden there's like a log cabin with like the historic placards. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, we're running right now, but like this is cool. And what I was saying to Randy, which is like this other byproduct of my sobriety, is my relationship with my wife. And
Mm,
so when I'm drinking, I see everyone else. I want to be the jester at the party. I want to be the class clown. I want to be like in with the other people. But in my sobriety, I want to see I want my wife to see me. I see my wife because Gabby, she's a bit introverted, and she definitely had it in her past to be the extroverted drunkenness version of herself, which is a fun person to be around. But
that's why we use alcohol as
yeah,
introverts.
but the better variety of me is when I'm at a social event and I see my wife. I am present in her like energy field, and that we're at this event together
Together, yeah.
instead of like, up Brian is because we got to go do the go have the fun at the thing, and
And
Gabby
she
is
just
probably
wants to,
doing that
yeah.
too. Yeah, no, and so that has super helped our relationship as well. So we actually have we're in a really good place. We still have our ups and downs because we want to like do good
Of
in our
course,
life,
it'd be weird
and
if you didn't.
but this particular thing has been a real net positive, just for my own like very important personal relationship with my spouse.
I just want to take a second to give you one of these.
Yeah.
Good job, man. Dude, because it's like, I remember going from being the guy that would go, my thing was space dust. I'd get what was it called? A lesion?
Yeah, I don't know how to
Or
say it. Yeah,
something? Get license or
EYESY. Yeah,
whatever.
but I know space dust.
But why would I get space dust? Because that shit is heavy. And if I have two of those tall boys, it's like having four beers, really.
Yes, exactly.
And it wasn't that I wanted to drink, it was that I didn't want to feel what normal life was like in that moment. And for an affiliate owner going through COVID, an affiliate owner going through X, Y, or Z, your grandma's got cancer, an affiliate owner going through the kid is sick, an affiliate owner going through, just add extra stimulus. And alcohol, man, that really helps drown out that stimulus. It really helps make everything feel pretty okay and normal until the next day when you wake up. And I think that that's what we should use as our litmus test on whether we should be doing this thing to help ourselves or not. Is that the next day when you wake up, do you feel that that made you better? Or do you feel that that made you worse? And I can guarantee you that every single time you've ever drank alcohol in levels that are, over what you should, you wake up next day and going, damn it, wish I didn't.
Have you ever heard this fucking bullshit lie? A couple of glasses of wine a night is great for your cardiac health. Shut the fuck up.
I
No, it
mean,
isn't.
for somebody drinking 6 glasses of wine, 2 glasses of wine a night is great for your cardiac health. But for somebody drinking 0 glasses of wine and exercising, it is not great for your
Yeah,
cardiac health, like at
yeah.
all. Yeah.
so I was at the dentist yesterday, and like I know that I'm in a really good place health wise, um, and my blood pressure was, and normally my normal systolic blood pressure has been like historically 127.
I
Like,
just love that you use those words, and I'm like,
yeah, yeah. So normally I'd
still
always
like
be
right
like,
back in the box a
yeah,
little.
127 to like one to be like 127 over 80 or 127 over 76. It'd always be something. I'd always see that top end number. Very trended, very trended. And I could even like do the party trick. It's like my blood pressure is going to be 127 over, and then the little medical assistant or whoever who was taking my blood pressure, maybe I was talking around in the back of the ambulance and teaching. And
Yeah.
so yesterday's blood pressure was 105 over 80 or whatever the bottom number was. And
70
then,
something probably.
70 something. And then my resting heart rate while I sat in a dentist's office at like 11 o'clock in the morning was 56.
Nice,
So,
dude. That's my favorite. It's like the nurses and doctors will always look at it, look at you, look at you, and go, I'm pretty sure it's okay. Because they're always like, that's really low. Oh my God, I should say something. And they look at you and they go, you look really fit. Okay, I'm sure, but that's still really low.
yeah, exactly. Actually, doctor, this could be you as well.
Mine's normally in the 40s, and they're like, I think that's still too low. I'll be right
Well,
back.
you are running, you're gazelle leaning in your fitness, right? Like if I could describe what a
I
skill
don't
set of
like to lift
yours.
weights. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So I've been doing, in addition to the sobriety, Roth out of Clovis, California. He's one of the goons against the world.
I was sick. I thought we were about to go into like some esoteric stuff. I was all excited.
Yeah, yeah. He
Like,
might,
man,
but he
raw, sick.
yeah, he's a firefighter out of Porterville, and he's got a really great vibe to him. He's just a really good dude. He's a new
Yeah.
father,
I
firefighter out of
love his stuff.
Porterville.
I
Yeah,
just copy all of it for our Noon Goon stuff.
yeah. And so yes, Goons Against the World is just an incredibly good brand. I love that it's Central Valley. I love that I
Check
get to
them
support
out.
him. Yeah, yeah. That they should go up at the national level. His
Yeah.
wife does like Goon Babes. His wife does a lot of it. Like
We have so many members of our gym that wear their stuff all the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Whenever he actually comes out with stuff, because it like every time you go to their website, it's like when it's ready, it'll be here.
Actually, just sidebar, I think that's a great way to market a brand. I actually think that
It's the supreme way of doing it. You know, Supreme.
no,
If you do
enlighten me.
the skate company and everybody
Okay,
wears it just says Supreme. That's the way that they do their branding and marketing is by having a scarcity first model where it's like literally they're only going to sell 100 of these and that's it. And there's millions of people that want it, but they will never make enough for everybody. It's like why they're so big.
yeah, and I think the vibe is cool. I think this like NorCal, Mexicana, Latin, like infusion of kind of like lowriders and
It looks like an
ski.
805 beer commercial constantly.
Yeah, it's great. They're firefighter leaning and they're first responder leaning, but in subtle ways that are different, like very different than
Cool stuff, man. It's just cool stuff too. Check them
Goon,
out. Buy
Goon,
their
Goon.
stuff.
So they're doing the Goon 100 right now. So it's like Goon or Die, Goon Classic, all their stuff that they do. And so the run, and they do it every year. This is the sixth time they do it. It's from April 1st to May 31st. You try to run 100 total miles, and you do it on the Nike Run app. So I'm at 35 miles right now. I am not you, Wes. People are laughing at how much I'm running. They don't know who I am.
It
They're
hurts
con-
when you run, huh?
they can yeah, I just ate. I run
You
like
hurt.
yeah, I run like like Gil, I call him Cobra. Gil, Coach Lori's husband. They're just a great people, really good close friends of mine. He says, you run like a buff dude. Like
Yeah,
you
dude,
just,
I can tell.
yeah,
I can already see you running, and
yeah.
I'm like, I
He's
haven't
like,
even really seen you run.
you run like you run like you're buffer than you actually are.
Can't
And I
just
was
say
like,
you
I
run.
know.
You run really heavy. Like you're just like.
Yes, that's exactly how I run.
You know what I found out about that? Because I was the same way when I first started like getting into running, and it's just miles. The more miles you put in, the better proprioception you have, and knowing where the floor is with your body and being able to react to it and not land into it. And my body started feeling so much better. And it's literally just like muscle memory of your body knowing like where the floor is when you put your foot down. You know?
I'm getting better at it. The first
See?
mile, I've got some great paces. Like yesterday's third mile was an 8:47. I'm not upset about that at all. And
With a third mile.
the third mile, my first mile's
What was the
always
first mile?
usually I'm in like the high nines, like a 9:49, a nine. So if I'm like having a tough
Good.
day, it's like a low 10, like a 10:15 on like a shitty
Yeah,
day.
if you're trying to build the endurance, it's better to start like really slow and slowly progress throughout it than it is to like be a normal CrossFitter and blow up in the first mile.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for why I've done a million. What like actually maybe like I don't know, maybe I've done 5,000 CrossFit WODs. Right, like if it
I
365
never
days a year.
thought about that. Wow.
Yeah, like let that. I don't know why that came in my brain. Like, what is the total number of workouts I've done? 365 with a few rest days here and there all the time. A couple of vacations, maybe a couple of double days, a couple of triple days every now and again. It's gonna be something like that because it'd be
If you
three.
did like 365, let's say you work out 5 days a week on average, it's 73 times that you're going to work out. No, 73 weeks that you're going to work out. So, 365 divided by 5.
No, no,
You
you
work out
do.
5 times. And so that
No,
would
you
be
do. You
seven.
do 52. Do 52 weeks divide times five.
Well, yeah, duh. So 260 times.
Yeah,
Now times how many years?
12.
3,000
Yeah, and then I've done a lot of
double
like
days. And
misfit training, Invictus training. We've done, all those things.
what's your body weight?
Right now I'm 172. Naked on the scale in the morning. And then I'm like 177 by the end of the day, 78. But isn't it funny? All right, so sidebar tangent, fucking weird thoughts. Isn't it weird that what'd you find out?
I was trying to do some power output stuff and just imagining if you moved your body weight up and down in squats and did like 100 reps for every single workout that you did, like you've moved over 1,000,000 pounds. That's
Yeah,
so cool.
yeah.
That's so
Why?
cool. It's probably a pyramid.
I know there's something to this, and this is probably a super easy chat GPT, but why
Okay.
do you weigh more at night and then less in the morning? Isn't that so interesting?
Well, intracellular, extracellular water, you're going to upregulate a lot of that extracellular water to the intracellular, which would make you weigh less. You're going to
Yeah, but
use a
it's
lot of
still
that
it,
stuff.
but it,
But you're using, no, because you're off-gassing things at night. Your heat is making all that energy leave you too. So you're losing
yeah,
energy as you're sleeping.
5 pounds of energy is a lot.
Yeah.
Like that's if I'm right because
Is that normal every night?
I've been doing it for this entire little life experiment I've been on. I will
Gee.
regularly because I was when I was drinking in December like 185, almost 190. Then I got super fucking sick in Orlando for one of the best hour masterminds. I lost it. I wanted it to happen. I was 171 and I really wanted to know what 169 looked like on. I just wanted to like see what it looked like if I was like a below 170 person,
Mm.
just for like a day. And I was like, this is too skinny. I gotta eat a sandwich. But I did want to like look at my physique and see like how small I could get. I was
It
so sick.
says it says that losing 5 pounds a night, while unusual, is generally not a cause for significant concern if it's a temporary fluctuation. But you said this has been going on for how
Yeah,
long?
like the whole time. Like I can lose 5 pounds in a night for sure. Like I lost 5 pounds last night. I was
So
170.
it could be that your salt intakes and your hydration levels are a little bit off, is what it says.
Okay. Like drink more or drink less.
What says factors influencing could be salt intake, carbohydrate intake, and hydration levels can all affect the amount of water that your body retains.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
I wonder if you're not retaining as much hydration as you could. Interesting. Because I know like when I talk to a lot of my female clients, especially, I'd be like, hey, if we see big swings in weight from like night to day, let's use a scale for that to show if we're overtraining. And if we're overtraining, a lot of times our bodies will have big swings in weight. And I'm like, so right when you said that, I was like, but you don't look overtrained. You know what I mean? Like you
No,
don't
I'm
have like,
I'm
you don't
I'm
look,
pretty toned up right now.
nah.
No, I'm pretty toned up right now. I'm pretty toned up. I'm feel like I wrote I and for the affiliate owner and for the coach, I think some of this stuff, if you're doing this in your life as well, don't let it be a battle in silence. I just wrote a WOD blog 2 days ago about we're in the middle. It's a little bit of periodization, but it is randomized for our strength cycle. Right, we're leaned into strength, so we're just doing strength a certain way. We've got it structured a certain way, but we're always switching up. We're doing push presses, we're doing bench presses, we're doing high
Look
volume
at
push
you.
ups.
I
We're
swear,
doing
we're not biasing.
yeah,
We're just
yeah.
targeting a
Listen,
little more strength.
pick
That's
me,
actually what we're doing this year too.
pick me, Netflix.
Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. This world is
Yeah, this
just
world,
so
it's a weird
funny,
world.
man. It is a weird world that we're even talking about that,
Yeah.
but I love this, man. I love that you're sober. I love that you're having way more intimate and connected moments with your wife because of that, and you're able to recognize that you're having more intimate and connected relationships just with the world as you're going on these runs and doing these things. I guess the question really is that, like, do you actually feel better doing it this way compared to the Voodoo Ranger way?
I feel pride is the deadliest sin, right? But I am proud of myself. So there's something about like,
Pride is the
eh,
deadliest sin.
eh,
Wow, you have the best little, like, let me put that in there real quick for you.
yeah. But I am proud of myself for sure. And I'm putting that out into the universe. I'm
Yeah,
proud of
right.
like,
And that's like what you're radiating every day is like
yeah,
this feeling of pride.
yeah.
That makes you stand up taller. That makes you feel better about yourself. That makes you have better interactions with other people when you're not feeling bad about who you are, what you're doing, how you're doing it. You know, like, man, maybe I shouldn't have drank so many beers last night and I kind of feel like crap today. So I'm not really having a great conversation with this person in front of me. And then that transfers over to the way they feel about you. And you just have this energy that you walk around with and you're like, I don't understand why people just don't listen to me. I don't understand why people are acting this way. I don't
Yeah, no,
understand.
but they're not ready to receive that information. So while you are prideful in the things that are going well in your life, you also have to be aware of meet people where they're at. And if we're going to be really good mentors and really good coaches and demonstrate to our clients and our athletes how to do this thing that we call CrossFit, you have to be mindful of the audience you're receiving that pride that you're having that prideful moment with. You might need to be cognizant of where they are in their, let's just use drinking journey, because I'm sure this as a because we always do a or as often as I can. When we miss one, we're always aware of it. We call it the other 23 hours consultation with all of our new athletes that come into the gym. And one of the things that we talk about is the four things that we talk about is uh, drinking enough water, enough sleep, slowing down when we eat, and knowing what you're going to eat before you eat it, meaning like meal prepping and being mindful of like specifically breakfast is once you figure it out is actually really easy to eat well. Then
Yeah.
lunches and dinners are where you're going to most likely make your mistakes or snacks. So we get to have a really nice conversation about that. But one of the things we also bring up is alcohol. So let's say that you're a guy that wants to start at Coast Range CrossFit and you're just looking at this fella between the ages of 21 and 45. And you get into the conversation about alcohol, and you come to realize that if they just decrease their alcohol consumption by just a moderate amount, all of the excess simple carbohydrates that they're drinking would decrease significantly, and then they would just lose weight nearly by accident. Like I'm not saying it's a good idea, but if I'm just like, hey, like if you just stop drinking 6 beers a night and you just had one vodka tonic, you would lose like 45 pounds. Like I'm not
That's
like,
not, you're right. That's not a good idea. That's a great
yeah,
idea.
yeah, like so you have to be mindful of that as well. You can be prideful in your sobriety, in your abstinence, but also like if we're gonna be great leaders, we're gonna have to pull people up the mountain. We're gonna have
Yes.
to get them across the river, and like just because you know the pathway, like hey, like it's a bit treacherous to just go cold turkey. That water looks a bit white, like there's caps in there, like there's rapids that you're gonna have to deal with. Why don't you just come on over here, just around the bend, in like 6 months, when you've established an excellent exercise habit and you have some people that really give a shit about your results, and you just come around the bend, and then we have a just really nice conversation about what's going on with your daily habits in the evening. And
I
now,
think that is a problem that CrossFit has, is that our results, while can come very quickly, usually take a little bit of time to settle in because the people's lifestyles aren't set up to support them yet.
yeah,
I was just having this conversation with one of my nutrition clients yesterday where she's like, I just am getting a little frustrated. I feel like I should be further along than I am right now. And I'm like, we're 6 weeks in. That's a blip in time compared to what it took you to get to this point. So let's take the context of what we're trying to do, which is we're trying to change the hormonal balance of your body through food as our mechanism to do that. Now, you have never done that. You didn't even know that food was a mechanism to help you with this thing that you've got going on. Like, it's about setting the person up for success by letting them know that what they're about to do is going to take a really long time and it's going to be a lot of hard work. And not being like, no, I got you. It's going to be like, 6 months, we're going to have you 6 pack of abs. All you got to do is just come in and work out, and that's it. If we don't involve the 23 hours outside of there, like you're saying, we are not doing our job as a CrossFit trainer or coach, bottom
correct,
line. And
correct.
you're doing a great damn job with this 23 hours outside of
Yeah,
the thing that you're talking about
yeah.
here.
The other 23 hours, that's what we call it. We sit down, we just talk about those four things. If you do these four things, I'll tell people, and like this is a bit anecdotal, and it's bro science, but it's rooted in a couple of thoughtful ways. If you can get people to drink enough water, as in like 2 liters or more per day, including salt as is appropriate depending on their exertion level, and then especially if they maybe work outside, and then you also get them to eat their food slower. So the brain stomach connection is actually a really bizarre combination of things because very natural way we can overeat, and that's a survival mechanism that will maybe serve us again one day. But in this caloric surplus environment that we find ourselves in, that is really no longer the case. So you can put on a lot of calories in a very very dense food source rapidly and never feel full because you need to get to the point in which your stomach expands. So when the stomach, and it doesn't have to expand a lot, but it has to expand enough that the receptors within your stomach receive signals in your brain that
Is
says,
it ghrelin or leptin?
leptin, I am full. It has the I am full. But
That's right.
you
And
can
ghrelin is the one that says, I am hungry.
Yes. And so what happens is, and we've done this to ourselves. We've all done this to ourselves. Oh my God, I freaking love Five Guy burgers. I can't believe we're gonna splurge on Five Guy burgers, and you murder it. Or you're like, I love pizza, and you murder it. Or you're like, I really am gonna just attack Thanksgiving. This Chipotle burrito is falling apart. I have to eat it all right now, and you will engorge. Fine, right? If you were starving to death, that's exactly the way you would eat. But the brain body connection didn't get the chance to say, I am full. So what happens there is in your digestive tract, you're now going to release a absolute shit ton of sugar into your bloodstream. That's your blood glucose level. All right. That's now going to be your energy source now for a while. Well, if you live sedentary and you're just chilling, and that is eventually going to turn into subcutaneous fat because where else is it supposed to go? You're not going to off gas it fast enough because you're not exercising or moving your
Because you're
body or
not
just,
Brian and losing 40 pounds a night.
yeah, exerting yourself to burn off that blood sugar, and it's just going to turn into fat. Well, it's hard to off gas fat. You either got to pee it out or you got to breathe it out. But there is a little cheat code that I suggest to my clients who are probably likely dehydrated and brain fogged and probably overeating, is I get them full on water. So the first step in the other 23 hours algorithm is to drink enough water that you are confirmed hydrated. Usually takes about a week or so to really get enough volume of fluid on board. So I could say to a dehydrated person that has like really like deep yellow urine, it's like you are hydrated. Your osmolarity is good. You're
Or
peeing
they can
enough.
see that the signal sometimes of hunger is actually a signal of needing to drink water too.
Yeah, yeah. And it's in there. It's in there. I don't have all the case studies right in front of me. I don't have all the literature, but this is true. Just take it as true, and as true of the science as we can. And then I get them to eat slower. So what happens when you eat is you have food bolus, chew that up, grind it down, and then you turn that into a chim. The chim is the type of food that will now go through the pyrolysis of the stomach as it digests. Now, you ever swallowed something really, really hard? Like you're just like, and you just
And you're
didn't
like,
chew it enough.
oh,
Good, good, good.
got it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, the worst. All right, so imagine inside your stomach if you had like a food that was large and hard to digest. It's going to take a bunch of acidity to make this happen in your stomach to then make this go through your iliac sphincter, get into your small intestines, work through the large
Or it's
intestines,
like,
where it feeds.
yeah, it's like putting a piece of bread in a puddle and just letting it sit there, or taking the piece of bread and tearing it up into a billion pieces and then putting it in the puddle. Like, which one is going to dissolve faster?
So when you can get people, and there's a brain, body, stomach connection that happens, digestion starts the moment it enters your mouth. That's why things like dry mouth are so bad for you. You need to
They
have
say
enough
that it
saliva.
even starts earlier than that. If you can smell the food and touch the food, you start producing the acids in your stomach to be able to digest said food. And they've even seen insulin responses for people touching and smelling food, not even eating it.
Yeah. So when you can get them people chew more.
Yeah, it's definitely. What do they say? 30 chews?
Yeah. So I'll do this whole like reenactment. I try to get a little bit of like I got my razor blade here. All right. So I'll tell people. I was like, go to the other side. And it's gonna go pick up the food, put it in your mouth, and I tell them to put that shit down. Now that my hands are free, now you can pick up your fork again. And
Yeah.
and they'll look at me like, you can do that
Yeah, it's a
yet?
funny thing because I actually, right when you said that, I went, man, I tell my kids all the time, don't put your fork down, damn it.
Yeah,
Because it
because they're
takes
slow
them
as shit.
an hour and a half to
No,
eat their food, right? And
I
I'm like,
know.
wow, I wonder if actually this has been kind of ingrained in us since kids, like where we naturally took the time that was necessary probably to eat and digest food, and our bodies were just autonomically doing this. And then our parents were like, can you please eat faster? We gotta go. And it's like, I
My
wonder about
daughter,
that a little bit.
my daughter's the same way. But my son, he's absent-minded. My son, he's really funny. Every time we sit for dinner, he has to go poop. It's
That's
really
Joey.
funny.
Joey's just like,
I know, man. So
I'm like,
annoying.
Joey, eat your food. She's like, huh?
Yeah, it's real. It's real. Just let Megan know that that is perfectly normal.
You know what? You know what I hear you saying? What really, I guess, like makes me take this whole thing we've been talking about and go like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Is that we have a tendency to use our brain way too much. And our brain is like this supercomputer with all of this information in it. And we're trying to dig through all the information to make the choice. Instead, what we should be doing is using our heart and our gut to make more of our choices. Where if we were to instead lead with like, hey, let me eat this food, let me swallow it, let me get it in my gut, and then let my gut tell my brain if I'm full. Not like, ooh, I'm super hungry, so I'm gonna eat this thing that tastes really good because my brain is saying it wants that thing, and so I'm gonna eat that thing, and I'm gonna eat all, and then our gut is just like, okay, well, just catch all that stuff you're eating. We're not even thinking about it. The same idea when it comes to
Yeah,
life
no, that's
decisions
really
that we
good. That's really good. I like how you said that. I haven't thought of it that way. Yeah, it's good. I like
Same
you're right.
idea when you make like a bad decision, when you're like, man, I wish I hadn't said that to that person, or I wish I would have done this instead on that top decision. If we were to take some space and take some time to think with our hearts and not our heads, a lot of times that decision will come out the way we actually want it to be. If I lead with like loving kindness in my heart, that will tell my brain what the right choice is. If I lead with my gut and it telling me like, yes, this food is getting in there, that will tell my brain I'm full or not full. And it's like shut down the brain for a second by the whole point of this podcast was like doing things that maybe you don't have time for, but are necessary to make you feel better, which will help you think from your heart, think from your gut a little bit more, and less hamster wheel inside of the brain. So just, you've been giving up alcohol and, working on running and your exercise, and you're seeing the benefits of that making you feel like you have a little more time, a little more relaxed. And it's not like you got more time. It's not like somebody gave you more relaxing time. It's that you took away this poison, which made you enjoy the time that was already there a little bit more. And like, I don't have,
Tell us about how you made time to go to the concert last night. Tell us about the band and who we should listen to.
yeah,
Because
like check it out. Like
because
I'm
you're
in
in a
a hotel right now. Like I'm down in a hotel and I came down here because I got to the point where I was so overwhelmed with work and everything. And I'm texting Meg. I'm like, "God, I'm just so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do right now." And then a couple days later, I hit her up and I go, I should really probably go see a concert. I haven't seen a concert in forever, and I think that'd really make me feel better. And she
she
goes,
said
"Hell
yes, yeah.
yeah,
Get
you
out of here,
should."
bro.
And I found one, and it was so far away that it made more sense for us to use our points to like fly down there, get a hotel, stay. It was like $30 for us to do this whole thing because we have so many points for miles and hotels and stuff. Do I have the time to fly down to Santa Ana to watch a concert, to fly back the next day? Like, no. Is that good for my wife to be alone with the kids while I'm gone? No. Like, would it be better if I stayed home? No, it wouldn't have been. What's better is me going, my heart is telling me right now, and my gut are telling me right now that I need time for myself and I need to do something for myself so that I can be a better person for other people. And it took me a very long time to realize that, like, these little things that we do for ourselves, taking alcohol away, going to a concert, going skateboarding, surfing, meditating, painting, like doing the thing. Like, I have another client I'm working with right now who she has a she shed in her backyard that is for her jewelry making business that she has. And it's like a side thing that she just loves to do. That she shed turned into the storage shed. And her jewelry hobby turned into, I haven't done that in over a year. And so working on her nutrition right now is getting an electrician to go get some power out in the she shed so that she could start to get back out there, do the things that she loves, which in turn will make her feel better day to day, which will in turn hopefully make her make better food choices.
Yeah, because food is a tool, just like money is a tool, just like relation.
Your brain is a tool. Don't let that tool use you. Like, you use the tool to help you,
Yes.
right? And like, we like let our mind make the decisions on the things that we're going to do to feel better, which is like, I'm going to go get some alcohol right now. I'm going to go do whatever it is that we know is not going to make us better, but our minds are going, yeah, yeah, do that thing. Do that thing. Give us the stuff. That's what we want. And we have to take a step back for a second and do experiments
Yeah,
that
you have
you're
to.
doing.
Even I would say even yours is an experiment. Like if you went down to Santa Ana and you were like, "I just miss my kids," or
Yes.
not that
And
you
I had
didn't,
that.
not that you didn't, but like
Yeah.
then you got into the concert and you know that there's that like communal. We're all shoulders to shoulders looking in the direction, and we're listening to the music and we're singing the songs and we're dancing the same beat. That is so you can cathartic
But
that
just think about the things right now. Give me like three things in your life that bring you joy, like moments when you look back and you go, oh yeah, I was doing that thing and that was so awesome. What was it? Go. Give me three.
I went. My son now can go on bike rides in the neighborhood with me. I love those.
Give me two.
We played softball last night on a co-ed
Okay,
team. It
cool.
was
Give me
fucking
three.
so much fun, and I doodle sometimes.
Bro, did any of those involve work?
No, they're the opposite.
Now,
Now, don't get me wrong. I love
hold
work.
on one
I
second.
love
Hold on a
my
second. Hold on
work.
a second.
Yeah.
And we are talking to two people that do the thing that they love the most in the entire world, and it is the best job that you could ever possibly have. And you still, the first three things were before even that. So imagine somebody that's like hates their job, like with a passion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or they
You
love their
have
job and they have
to,
people that make it shitty. That's the other
yeah,
shitty.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
whatever it is. It is so important for you to go to Santa Ana and watch a concert. I can't even tell you. Because if it's that important for me and I freaking love my life and my job, I can't even imagine how important it is for you to go do these things. So let's talk about before we, wrap this thing up, let's talk about the actionable steps that that you took, just quit drinking to get yourself where you are, that I took to get myself down here. I'll go first.
Yep, go for it.
The first actionable step I had to take was to tell my wife, doing these things make me feel better. And here are the things that I need time to be able to do. I need time to be able to play the drums. I need time to be able to skateboard, and I need time to be able to see live music. If I have those three things in my life, I could deal with a lot of shit. So that was number one, was letting her know that like these selfish things have to be in my life. And they're going to take up a lot of our
Selfish.
time, and they're going to take up a lot of your energy, because what I'm going to have to ask you to do while I'm doing said thing is for you to have more energy to deal with the kids while I'm not there doing this thing. Then I had to go, but on the other end, I know what your favorite things are: hanging out with your amigas, going and hanging out with your family, and like I'm going to make sure that I give you the time to go do those. So for everything that I do, I'm coming back. We have planned something else, like she's going to Ojai or something else with her girlfriends in a couple months. It's on the books and it's happening. That made me immediately feel better about myself as a human, because I didn't feel like I was taking advantage of somebody else. And I think that most affiliate owners out there will sympathize with this and go like, yeah, I just would feel so bad for my wife or my husband if I did whatever. So make sure you're thinking about them too, being like, hey, I'm going to go do this so that you can go do this after I'm done doing this. And then it's like a cyclical thing.
And then you do something together.
Yes. Yeah, it's great. And if that's your relationship and you want, great, awesome. And the number two thing I had to do was what we talked about, which was experiment with it and actually do the damn thing, which was very, very, very hard and uncomfortable to do. Actually, the first time I went to a concert by myself, and it wasn't even far. It was like I was driving over the hill to San Francisco. I was going to see a concert. I was coming back that night, and I felt so guilty about it. I felt guilty about leaving my wife with the kids. I felt guilty about the money I was going to spend on the gas getting there, on probably the t-shirt I was going to buy when I was there, on the concert tickets, I felt so guilty, and I just didn't want to do it, but I forced myself to do it. Then number three thing, I had to do it again. I couldn't just do it once and then be like, yeah, whatever, I did it that one time and I think it reaped rewards, but I don't really remember anymore. It had to become a regular thing that I did. And now that it has, and we're probably 3 years into me making it a real thing to go to concerts, I'm a new human, like 100% than I was before I was seeing concerts. Like I can look back at the human I was before I was going to these concerts and doing these things and who I am now. And it's reinvented me into a more calm, more rational, and nicer human being 100%.
I started journaling. I write a lot. I write and I draw and I doodle. I have like big projects I want to get done. And I started to manicure my space. So I'm really on top of like, my family's with me, of like making the space that we come home to a little bit more us. There's some functionality to it, but it's also pleasant to look at and it's taken care of, and there's not like unfinished projects everywhere. Just like a little, and like, and not like there's a lot of unfinished projects, but like there's a path forward where we're going to have it be nice and pleasant. And we don't live in a lavish, crazy house. It's just a nice neighborhood. And between the combination of making sure that I'm having quality time with Gabby, I'm having quality time with the kids, because this will happen. My kids are in my affiliate. They're there.
Oh,
I am,
yeah.
but they're not
They're
with
also
me.
in a
Yeah,
way, kind
yeah,
of.
yeah. And so I have the quality time with my family, quality time in my space, and artsy fartiness, whether it's journaling or self-reflection or doodles, or I'm going to paint a mural in the house, and my wife is all excited for me to do it, which I'm excited. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm
Sure.
painting. So right above us is the attic. And so it goes into the kitchen, which is just right over there. And then my living room, the ceilings go all the way to basically the roof at that point. So the eave that creates this wall goes across, and it's probably like 20 feet by 5 feet or something like that. And I'm going to paint it all black. and then I'm gonna mural with white paint over the top of it like a floral thing. It's gonna be so sick.
And what you're gonna have that time almost every day for a little bit to
Yeah, I'm gonna
work
do a
on it.
little bit at a time. I'm gonna do this painting. Like I'm gonna be like Sistine Chapel type shit. Like I'm gonna be on a ladder
I love
with
that for people
with
out
a
there. Like,
paintbrush.
I don't want to go to concerts. I don't want to do whatever. Like, what do I do? And it's like, well, you have this project that you can break up into these small pieces and give yourself a moment of something you like to do every day within that project.
There's something about just like the nature of just doing this that
See,
is
and some people like, man, they'd
yeah.
be like, no, fuck, I don't want to do that. That sounds
No,
awful.
but that's my heart. But I'm wearing a Grateful Dead sweatshirt now, guys.
No,
Like,
but like, but
like
the
I'm
idea is that you're using this to think, not this to think. And
same
you're
same.
going, I'm going to do this project because it's going to make this feel good. You know what I mean? And it's going to calm this damn thing down a little
Hmm.
bit.
Hmm.
And I think that that's the most important takeaway from this whole kind of rant that me and you just had on, like, how we've done things for ourselves and how we're reaping the rewards of those and how we want our other affiliate owners out there to do the same and coaches to do the same.
Well, this
It's
is how
like,
you avoid burnout. This is how you avoid throwing your paper up in the sky and saying like, I don't want to do this anymore. This is not what they said it was going to be.
and that's
And
the most important part is
yeah,
that we're not allowing ourselves to get to the point where I see on Facebook Marketplace now people just selling turnkey CrossFit gyms, 65 grand. Here you go, just freaking take the thing. I don't even want it anymore. And I'm like, that is a sad thing.
and also it's probably if it's that problematic, it's probably also not worth $65,000. It's probably worth less.
He's just selling the equipment. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Hey, please give me pennies on the dollar for what I paid for all this stuff, basically.
yeah.
And it's like that happens only through burnout. And burnout happens through a mind that is constantly chasing a thing that it'll never achieve. And that's what we do good as CrossFitters is we chase things that we will never achieve, knowing full well that we won't be able to get there, but trying our best to get there. It's called virtuosity. And I think that that can lead us into some pretty bad places every once in a while as type A personalities. And it's important for us to every once in a while, which just means before you freak out, before you lose your shit, before you sell your gym, to do things that are important for yourself, like painting a mural, going to a concert, doing whatever. But being able to recognize the objective things like alcohol, I think is probably one of the biggest things that are preventing you from being able to do that. Reach out if you need any help on how to get sober, how to get California sober. If you want to talk more about any of that kind of stuff, I'm always fun to talk about that kind of stuff. I love it. Or if you just want to chit chat with us about like affiliate owner stuff, about coaching stuff, hit us up. I'm at West Pyatt 2013 right here on Instagram. Boucher B911. Mm. Well, you have been getting better on social media as if you look, actually. That's so crazy.
Us get better and better with our audio and our visual and our articulation. And you could watch probably a couple of funny rants with some pretty crappy audio out there. But we're gonna get better and better. And we're looking forward to the future of what third space can be. And we'd love for you to be an early adopter.
We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Share, like, and subscribe. All the things. Peace out, players.